How much money is it costing United States to deport one illegal? And what happens if the country from where that illegal has come refuses to take him back? What are the options in front of the United States? And how much of a hole is this going to cause to its budget? All this and more in this revealing infographic, because the last count I looked at, 285,860 illegals have been deported. The total number, we are looking at 20 million. If 20 million illegals are still around, and if you look at the cost per person and how much it's going to cost the exchequer, your mind blows. So what needs to happen? Well, many need to self-deport. What are the conditions under which United States can create a situation where the people who are staying illegally will self-deport? It's something that the Trump administration has to figure out. In the meantime, I thought I will show you the expenses as they are computed today. I have a small infographic and it gives you step by step what happens if this happens, what do you do? If that happens, what do you do? And so on and so forth. Thanks for watching, and please like this video. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel. The cost and logistics of US immigration removal. So what is exactly the steps involved? What are the steps involved? One thing you need to do is first locate them, determine that they are illegal. Then I think you have to get through a legal process where deportation will be allowed. Then you need to take them to a detention center, and from the detention center they'll be put on plane to whichever country they came from, and it is expected that the country from where they came will bear the expenses. I don't know how many countries have come forward to do that. So that is a thread that is running on its own. But the United States has other options. If the country from where they came refuses to take them, what does the United States do? I have answer on that also. But take a look at what is the estimated cost. At the low end, it is something around $13,950, and at the high end, comprehensive estimate is $70,200. This is just one illegal. If it is a family of four, you see how the numbers add up, right? Now the projected annual cost, looking at the entire system, proposal to remove just 1 million individuals per year, just 1 million. We have 20 million to remove. A massive recurring price tag of $88 billion. $88 billion annually to remove 1 million people. Now also, how does this expense come so high? There are two things. There's a one-time expense and there is a recurring system expense. What is the one-time cost per individual? This is a direct transactional cost of physically transporting the person out of the country. The transportation could be a final flight or it could be vehicular transport. The recurring cost, which is the system, these are the massive annual operational costs required to maintain the entire removal infrastructure. The chart below shows three big components. The first one is the agent salaries is about 30% of the total expense, the immigration court system about 20%, and detention center operations is a 50% hit. So these are the costs involved. Now this is just assuming that everything is going smoothly and that the ICE is doing its job. Then what happens? There is the logistical hurdle. What if a country says no? When a person's home country refuses to accept them back, the US government faces a complex legal and diplomatic process. This is official procedure for recalcitrant countries. I think Venezuela, which has one of the highest illegal contingent in the United States, is about to be invaded by United States, I think for the same reason, because Maduro has refused to take back the illegals. Sometimes I've heard him say yes, but I think the overall answer seems to be no. So this is something that probably is also the reason why United States is looking to invade Venezuela. I mean, there could be other reasons also, but let's just look at the options that the United States has when a country says no to taking back its own people. Option A, diplomatic and legal pressure. The US uses its leverage to compel cooperation. It means impose visa sanctions on that country, apply economic leverage, and also use diplomatic channels. And if it doesn't work, Then you have the option B, which is indefinite detention or release. The Supreme Court limits indefinite detention. Detention is not reasonably foreseeable. So the result is they must be released and supervised. Whether it is in the United States or elsewhere is an option that US needs to consider, but for now they will all have like an anklet ring and things of that nature. Option C, third country removal, a rare and legally complex alternative used if removal country is impracticable. Then what happens is they move these people to other countries. For example, El Salvador is one. We also have 4 countries in Africa who accepted or who have said that they will accept illegal immigrants from the United States. And I don't know how efficient that is going to be at this point of time. That is also a release valve. But what is the projected long-term cost? This is the mind-boggling number. See, if you think about the long-term cost, when scaled up as a comprehensive multi-year policy, remember I told you it is 88 billion for 1 year for 1 million. 20 million people are there. 88 times 20, 1.76 trillion. That is the actual expense. You assume that there is something already built in, like for example, salaries for the judiciary and detention centers and things like that. If you think about it, the minimum deficit that the United States will run up over a period of 10 years in order to deport its illegal immigrants is over 1 trillion. On top of all the other deficits, you will be slapping another 1 trillion over 10 years, which means you're going to be slapping 100 billion every year for just removing the illegals that the Democrats so cleverly brought in. So you see the big picture here, and I'm going to also tell you what is the plan for the Democrats. The Democrats tasted big success in states like California, which is like a Democratic wall now. 70% Democrat, 30% Republican, and it's really shrinking. Although, if you look at a geographic map, other than the cities, it's all red, just like any other state in the United States. But Californian cities are huge. I've said this thing before also. If you draw a horizontal line just below LA, all the way across the border to Arizona, that till the Mexican border, you have close to 5 million illegals who are hiding in just the state of California. They're all enjoying benefits. You're seeing this government shutdown, and we have seen now how DOGE was used by the Democrats to find money to feed and keep shelter for all these illegals. In fact, California also gives free medical care to illegals. And that's again a very, very sad aspect. We didn't know that we were signing up for it, but be that as it may, Californians all are paying through their nose by way of increased ambulance costs and increased healthcare costs, increased energy costs, and so on and so forth. I don't know when that gravy train is going to stop. I think it's not going to be there for too long. Let's wait and see. But you get the idea. The Democrats have done a diabolical thing in these 4 years, and if they ever come back to power, they will continue doing this thing. I hope sense prevails across the nation, and you see the danger that electing a Democratic president again is going to pose to this country. I'm an independent, okay, but at least I can see that Trump is trying to make a fist of this fight. The Democrats don't even want to do that. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.